For far too long, monuments have been challenged, nativity scenes have been rejected, and memorials have been tied up in court. It's time for all of us to begin restoring faith in America. Hi, I'm Stuart Shepard, and this is First Liberty Live. Thank you for liking and sharing our videos, and especially liking and sharing this video, because we need as many people as possible to know about this effort that we're trying to get people involved in all over the country. My guest today is Kelly Shackelford, President, CEO, and Chief Counsel of First Liberty Institute. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Stuart.
Good to see you. You've been talking about this. I've been hearing you talk about it over the last couple of months, and we're going to unpack it a piece at a time so that everyone can understand exactly what we're talking about, what we'd like to see happen. First, you've been in this fight for your entire career. Give me some examples of monuments, memorials, displays, that kind of thing, that have been rejected in the public square that we now have an opportunity to make a difference on.
Well, we've seen, lots of examples, right? You go way back to when nativity scenes were taken off the lawns of our capitals and menorahs. And then, of course, we went to the Supreme Court with the Bladensburg Cross. Veterans memorials. Before that, when we had a number of other veterans memorials, we had a cross that was a Vietnam memorial in Oregon that was under attack. It's just endless, right? And it's not even just monuments and memorials. It's attacks on any sort of religious activity in a school, whether it's from a student or with Coach Kennedy, a coach after the game. This hostility to religion has been going on a long time, and it's never what the Constitution was saying. It was all going back to really a bad Supreme Court decision that caused all this really mayhem for over 50 years.
Now, some of those were protected, and we fought for many of them and protected them. Others were taken down, right, or put in the closet or moved out. And those are the ones we're talking about today that we want to get a move on. Thanks to the cases that we won, the Supreme Court has changed the playing field. Explain what that means. What's different in the law now than we had even earlier this year?
Well, most people know Coach Kennedy won his case, right? And he gets to go back and pray. But very few people know what was in the decision, which there's a case called Lemon. It was aptly named. It's a lemon. It was passed or actually decided in 1971 by the same court who essentially handed down Roe v. Wade and was adding things to the Constitution. They did so in this case. We have an establishment clause. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Why? Because the founders did not want there to be an established church that everybody had to support, because they knew that would take away their freedom.
Like a Church of America.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Church of England, which is what they came from. And they know how bad that was. So they didn't want there to be a government-established religion or church. So that was what it was about. But in 1971 in Lemon, they created this whole other thing. They said, no, it really means separation of church and state. It means that if you're offended by religion, you can bring lawsuits. It means all these other things that the founders never said. And it led to our whole lives attacks on a veterans memorial that has a cross, a menorah around Hanukkah, a nativity scene, any sort of religion in school or anywhere around government. An example of, we've got this crazy case right now with Cambridge Christian where they told two Christian high school football teams that in the state championship game they weren't allowed to pray before their game.
Over the loudspeaker.
Yeah, you're like, how could anybody say something so stupid? It's because of the Lemon case.
Yeah.
It led to this sort of hostility and this fear about religion. And whenever religion occurs, then the government thinks it's its job to stop it, which is the very opposite.
And it's the common thread then through all these stories, because all of us have been hearing about these for decades,
yes,
literally back to the 70s. But if you're not into the law, we may not have understood. We didn't have the full picture that it's that test over and over again that each of those, I'm going to put in air quotes, failed, which caused the courts to say, nope, that one's got to go.
Yeah, and they literally tore down crosses, menorahs, these things around the country. And they created a fear, even in our schools and everywhere else. So most people know that Coach Kennedy won. What they don't know is, as I'm sitting next to Coach Kennedy when the decision comes down.
Yeah.
And he says, "Did I win?" And we said, "Yes, shh, we're reading." And we're reading along, and it says, "Lemon is over." And then we read the dissent and they're going crazy.
Yeah.
And so that was a sea change. I mean, that people don't understand. 7,000 citations to Lemon in the last 50 years. All those federal cases
Now have an asterisk next to it.
they're all overruled. Every one of those cases are really now overruled as far as their reliance on Lemon.
Yeah.
So what that means is everywhere that crosses went down, they come back up. You know, menorahs that were banned, they're allowed. You know, prayers that were stopped come back in. And so this is something that we've never seen before, because this is the biggest religious freedom victory in our lifetime. I don't care how old you are.
Wow.
I mean, this is huge. This changes everything. And so what this means, though, is, I mean, look, I've had some of our attorneys say, well, let's just go into all 7,000 of those citations, and let's go into every community, and let's get the team together, let's file a lawsuit, let's do all this. And yeah, we could do that, right? It would be a lot of work. We'd have to go raise a lot of money to handle that many cases all across the country at one time.
But that's not the plan.
That's not the plan. Because really the goal is not for us at First Liberty to bring faith back in America. The goal is for everybody in their own community to do this. And this is what's so great about this is God just totally blew open a door for every American to take their own community back. And so what we're doing with this Restoring Faith in America project is making it so that every single person can go into their community, and where the cross went down, bring it back up.
How would that work in real life, though? How do you see that playing out?
There's lots of ways. I mean, for instance, there are specific places that took down their Ten Commandments monument, their cross, their nativity scene. Every one of those places can do that now.
Can it's just bring it back out, and
they can bring it back out, and it's a matter of people going to them and saying, "Look, have you seen this? This is the information. This is the law. You know, we need to bring this back." Okay, I mean, something as easy as think of all the football games going on right now.
Yeah.
Okay, how many people like that are watching this have either a kid, a grandkid, a relative, a friend's kid who's playing football this weekend? Well, it's as easy as telling that kid, why don't you invite some of your friends and maybe some of the even people from the other team to pray together after the game.
And we've been seeing pictures of that happening this fall, because that idea got put in people's heads, and the kids are taking care of that. They're actually doing it.
And I think what will happen is that will snowball, that will grow, because people will realize, hey, we could do this, right? And so we've already seen pictures of students from both teams, coaches standing behind them, all praying after the game.
And that's the part that's different, because student-led, student-initiated prayer, I had this drilled into my brain, has been okay.
Yes.
But the fact that the staff could join with, or at least stand there with their head bowed, that's the part that's been rejected in courts for so long.
And there was fear, because when you ban something, you have this sort of bad case. It causes even the students to not get together, which is unfortunate. But now there's nothing. So as far as what people can do, I mean, think how simple that is, right? There should not be a football game where after the game people aren't gathering together to pray. There shouldn't be, okay? But that's just the beginning. They can go in and say, hey, you know, we stopped having prayer before our school board meeting. We don't have to do that anymore, okay? What about your city council? I mean, there are endless examples of how you can bring faith back into your community. And what's great is this is going on offense. This is not sitting back and waiting for bad people to bring a lawsuit to try to squelch religious freedom.
Right.
This is you bringing religious freedom into your community. And again, we'll have at our website, you know, here's what this means. Here's what you can do. It's real simple for people so that they can then take back America. And then what we're going to have as their last item is, once you finish doing this, and when the prayer does come back, you know, when the Ten Commandments does go back up, we want you to take a picture and send it back to us. And we're going to show everybody else what's happening. And guess what that's going to lead to? Everybody else is going to go, oh, wow, I'm going to do this in my community. And we're going to start really a snowball for people bringing. This is the opposite. We've seen so much destruction with all these riots where they tear down like a George Washington statue. This is not destroying, it's redeeming. It's bringing back up.
Because it's good
restoring.
and right. I mean, that's what I keep thinking. It's the right thing to do.
And it's
the way
America.
It is.
This is what we were founded on religious freedom. People who came here for religious freedom. The idea that we had to black out religious expression across a society has really been a blight on our country. And this is going to take that covering off and say, no, we're a place of free expression and religious freedom across America.
It does leave me wondering how many communities across America lost a court case, and they moved that Ten Commandments monument or that cross out of the public eye.
Yes.
But it's somewhere.
Yeah.
They didn't just break it into pieces and make gravel out of it. They put it away somewhere. So it's not that big a deal to say, well, let's roll it right back out again because now it's okay.
And how many public officials out there would like to do that and didn't know they could?
Yeah.
And maybe until somebody who's one of their constituents tells them, hey, did you know about what just changed? Once they find out, I think you're going to have people in a lot of communities across the country ready to bring faith back into their community, which really, I mean, I think our restoring faith in America is exactly what this is, really bringing us back to what the founders intended in this country. We don't want the government to tell any of us how to pray, where to go to church, any of that. Nobody's in favor of that. But boy, this is what America was about, which was faith being vibrant, being open, being out there. That we're a country that really does believe in religious freedom. And so this is bringing faith back across America.
Where can people find out more? Where do they go?
They can go to our website. Obviously, there's firstliberty.org. But in this case, we've got a special website that's going to be up, which is the initials for Restoring Faith in America. It's RFIA.org. Yeah, and so people can go there, they can get that, they can share this with other people. And I would encourage them, not only everybody watching this, to say, what can I do? Because you can do something here. This is going on offense, okay? You can do something. But the additional thing you can do is share this with other people so that they can do something and so that they can help other people realize that they can do something. And we can really cover every community of the country. Now, look, if you run into any problems, any statements about the law that are false, any resistance.
Do you know anybody that could help with that?
You can call us. We'll come in right. It's kind of like the military. We'll come right behind you with support. And look, if it leads in some places to another lawsuit, all we're going to do is set more and more precedent, making clear the direction that we're now going as a country. Because these Supreme Court decisions, I mean, not only the decision we won in Coach Kennedy, but in Carson, are both, we know where we're going as a country with regard to religion. We're going back to what the founders put in place, which has been so marred for our whole lives. And I just encourage people, whether they know it or not, right now, every American has more religious freedom than they've ever had in their lifetime. And we're just at the beginning of this. And this is where we've got to take our part and begin exercising the freedom we were just given.
I'll tell you why I like this so much. One, it's fun, okay? But the reason it's fun is it's positive, it's affirming what's true, and there are so many people out there who right now are thinking about ideas that are going through the head of, oh, I could actually do something here. Rather than just complaining about it, you can actually have a positive impact on the whole country.
I think so many people have watched the country. It seems like it's being decayed, it's being destroyed to some extent, and they felt hopeless. And God just placed in your hands the ability to change that, to bring the very opposite of hopelessness, to bring the very opposite of decay, but really bring us back to who this country really is. And I have no doubt that as we acknowledge who we are, we'll be blessed for that. And it's just up to people that are willing to do it. The way a little visual I have in my mind, Stuart, is It's like there was a castle. And in the castle, our grandchildren were being held captive, like the future of our country. And we've been sort of chipping at the bricks with, weapons, and we've been making some progress. But God just blew a dynamite hole through the castle wall. And now we're all standing outside and going, boy, it's really neat that he blew up in the wall. I mean, we need to go through the door that was just open. And this is a great opportunity, and it's something everybody can do. I don't care who they are.
Very good. Kelly, thank you so much. Anything else you'd like to share?
No.
Or let you run?
I just want to thank everybody for being a part of this victory that allows us to do this. This is exciting. I've had a lot of people, like the guys who help us write a lot of our stuff, they said, this is the most exciting thing we've ever seen. And they write for a lot of people, but we're trying to get the word out. But there's been nothing like this in our lifetime, so people need to realize this is really a blessing, and it's a great opportunity.
It is a fantastic opportunity. Kelly Shackelford, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks
Stuart.
for your vision for this, and thank you for getting people moving. This will be fun to watch. Hey, you could be part of this. I told you you'd want to like and share this video, right? Who do you know that would benefit from hearing this message? Maybe it's someone on the city council or the school board, or someone that happens to know where that monument or creche got put away when it was taken out of public view. Forward this to them so that they can hear this message and realize that the courts say, the Supreme Court says, that can come back. It's okay now to bring it out and let people see it because, frankly, it always was right. It's just this bad decision from 40 years ago that has caused the problems. You can be part of that. So get the word out. Again, the website to go to learn more, it's the acronym for Restoring Faith in America, RFIA.org. And we'll put a link to that underneath this video. Thank you for being part of this. First Liberty is your last line of defense and your greatest hope for victory.